Greetings adventurers, I am Chris with Nord Games, and in this video we'll be talking about Treacherous traps. We have a hardcover version as well as a box set of cards. We'll talk about the hardcover version first, we'll get back to the cards later. So this is a great resource for you if you're looking to build out dungeons and have lots of non-monstery things to challenge your players with. It says here, the definitive guide to creating traps, hazards, and puzzles for your fantasy adventures. And this is designed for 5th edition D&D. So having a quick look at the table of contents, we can see all this book has to offer. We have how to use traps. We have 5 chapters on pre-generated traps that we've created for you. We have a chapter on complex traps, a chapter about designing your own traps, and a chapter about random trap generator. This is going to be a big topic later. We have trap-centric dungeons, perplexing puzzles, subtle secrets, ridiculous riddles, and also Trapsmith legends. These are some non-player characters that you can introduce to your party if you need someone to maybe join you on the adventure to disarm traps and help out the party. Let's go ahead and turn to page 10 and look at some of our pre-generated traps. So these are things you can just grab and use against your players as you see fit. The chapter starts with a rollable table, so you can roll a D100 and grab a random trap at your choosing, or you can specifically select things that are maybe not so dangerous, or you can go right for the deadly stuff if you want to do that. It makes it pretty easy for you to just grab whatever you need. So a D100 roll will give you a random trap of any one of these 50 traps, or you can roll a D10 on each section. So you have setback, moderate, dangerous, perilous, and deadly. So let's say that you didn't want to challenge your players too much and you just wanted to give them something simple and easy. You might roll in the setbacks section, and let's say you get a 6. Well, fossil fingers, and you've got page 13 to turn to and take a look at that. So fossil fingers right here. It's a mechanical trap, level 1 through 4. It's a setback and it's designed to hinder. You have a description of the trap here, what triggers it, what its effects are, and the countermeasures, how to disarm it. So you've got everything you need to know about the trap and how to bring it to your players and challenge them with it. Let's take a look at the random trap generator, which is on page 111. So the random trap generator is a way that you can randomly grab out of the book a trigger and an effect and combine those together to create something unique. So this page right here is where you'll find all 50 triggers and all 50 effects in one convenient location. Now these don't have anything like setback and level and that kind of stuff. You'll have to determine how you want to do that, and this chapter goes into how to set those difficulty levels. But in here you can see we have a D100 table, but it's also broken up into 3 sections. You've got the mundane or non-magical triggers and effects. You've got the ambiguous triggers and effects, which could be magical, could be non-magical. And then you've got the magical triggers and effects. So let's say that you were to want a strictly mechanical trap, nothing magic about it. You could roll a D20 right here on this section twice. So let's say that you rolled a 10 and it's a pick lock. So the trigger is if you go to pick a lock, and then let's say you also, let's see, for the effect, you rolled an 11, and that would be needle. It's a pretty standard one. Pick the lock and a needle shoots out and maybe poisons the person who is picking the lock. So that's a great example of a very, very simple way to use it. You could also have a mechanical trigger and maybe a magical effect. Magical trigger, mechanical effect. You can use this any way that you want to. If we go down to the magical effects and triggers here, let's say that we have look into. So someone sees a mirror, they look into the mirror, and the effect is sleep. So pretty standard, but of course the severity of that will be determined by you because you're the one actually creating the trap. So each one of these triggers, there's a page reference number, and you can turn to that page to see more about that, how to properly use that. So an incredibly powerful resource for you for creating your traps. So the book has a lot more than that to offer. Highly recommend it if you are building out dungeons and you don't just want monsters in those dungeons. Moving on to the box set, what we've done here is we've taken all of the pre-generated traps out of this book and put them into card form into this box set. So you've got 250 pre-made traps. They're the same ones in this book, but you also have that random trap generator represented as its own deck. So let's take a look inside of here. So we've got our instructional booklet here, and this will have all the instructions you would need to be able to make your traps. You don't need this book to be able to use these cards. So they're not, you don't have to use them together. So here, let's look at the pre-made trap deck first. These are all in tarot size cards, so they've got nice big font and they're easy to read. We have the mundane, ambiguous, and magical traps separated by the color in their headers. So you've got the mundane as orange, magical as blue, and the ambiguous as purple. And in this case, let's say I have a group of adventurers, they're pretty low level, and I just want to challenge them with a few traps in my dungeon. I might grab a few cards. There's a mundane, a magical, and another mundane. So what we've got here is a rotating tunnel. This is a mechanical trap, level 1 through 4, perilous, so not quite deadly, but pretty bad, and it's designed to harm. We've got a stony glare. This is a magical trap, level 1 through 4, also perilous, and designed to hinder. And then we've got the blazing ring, minor, so a minor blazing ring. As you level up, there are more and more deadly versions of some of these traps. This is a mechanical trap, level 1 through 4, deadly, and designed to harm. So, a few pretty harsh traps here, but as you can see, same as in the book, you have a description of the trap, you have the trigger, you have the effect, and you have the countermeasures. So extremely handy if what you're looking to do is grab a few traps to populate your dungeon and challenge your players with it. The random trap generator, just like we saw in the book, we have a deck version of it. And here you have a deck of triggers, and you have a deck of effects. So randomly grabbing a trigger and randomly grabbing an effect gives us a unique trap. And there are thousands of different combinations here, but let's just say, and even more when you combine the fact that you can level these up and make them different severities. But here we have remove object and spell effect. So with remove object, this could be something you do mechanically and lifts a lever or whatever, however you determine it, or there's a spell that just knows you've removed the object, and the effect of the trap is going to be this spell effect. And as you can see right here, the trap is a glyph of warding with a spell stored inside or a symbol. When the glyph is triggered, the stored spell is cast. A glyph of warding can store any spell except cantrips that targets a single creature or an area. The trap's lethality determines the level of the spell that the glyph can store. So you might have something that's extremely bad, something that's not such a big deal, but you get the idea. You can create these on the fly very quickly and make them unique and appropriate for your adventure and your dungeon. So there are, like I said, 5 different pre-generated trap decks here, and they are the same ones that are in the book, and then you've got this one double deck that is your random trap generator. So that's what we've got for Treacherous Traps. You can get these on our website from your local game store. We also sell through distribution to local game stores. So if you are a local game store, check those out. And until next time, happy gaming.